Hey, in today's video I discuss immigration, immigrants, me being an immigrant, Colombian immigrants. We get into immigration big time, and I reveal the only kind of immigration that works for all parties involved. Guaranteed, coming up. Hey, welcome to the video. Welcome to Medellin. My name is Christopher Buell, and you may not know of me from such books as Golden Nuggets of Hobo Wisdom and Golden Nuggets of International Dating. So, I wanted to discuss a few things. It's one of the things I happen to love about being here is that it ain't my problem. It ain't my problem. Whatever problems Colombia has, I can't be blamed. You know, I got here yesterday. So, I also kind of get a chance to not feel the intensity of the politics that goes on in the United States. You know, you more or less kind of take a step back. And I'm a member of these expat groups. And every now and then the topic of immigration comes up. And recently there was a post on one of these expat groups where a guy had a video of what was said to be a Venezuelan street fighting with a police officer out here. I don't fully understand. Let me say, I don't know if that was true, but I'm going to discuss what happened. But, you know, it was two guys that were swinging, and maybe if I can find the link, I'll put it below. But it was a little sad. I mean, it was a lot sad. You know, it's two incredibly thin guys who are not exactly skilled fighters, man, doing the best they can. And the cop, I don't know. The cops don't have guns, or I don't know what happened, but you know, when you look at Venezuelans and Colombians, it's very similar. I mean, let's be honest. It's like, you know, people from Ohio and people from Michigan. Having said that, the greatest rivalry there are Michigan, University of Michigan, and Ohio State. And you know, it's I happen to be close with both Venezuelans and Colombians, and I get their point of view. And it's interesting because when Pablo Escobar and all the terrorism was taking place in Colombia, so many Colombians went to Venezuela, and the narrative is that Venezuela took them in no problem. Now, I never got to interview any Venezuelans back then who were competing for jobs with the Colombians that had migrated over. Now Venezuela has blown up. Venezuelans have come to Colombia. And there again, you know, it's not as though the Colombians don't have their own poor people where they need to import more. But there's a sense of payback. I mean, we were there for you guys when the Pablo Escobar, and now you need to be there for us. I really, it's a very funny thing because I see all sides of this angle of this debate, and I've always had a very conservative point of view when it comes to immigration. You know, it's like, I remember years ago I saw 60 Minutes, and it was talking about all the Americans that went to New Zealand and were buying New Zealand properties. And the local New Zealand population could no longer afford homes because too many Americans were coming there and causing the prices to go up. So if immigration happens with a class of people with money, it doesn't help the local population. At the same time, you know, it's like people with no money that immigrate to a country. There's a slew of problems that come there. I mean, every country has its poor people. It doesn't need more people coming in. So I am someone who, like, I really get the immigration point of view that people need to stay. Well, hey, Christopher, aren't you in Colombia? Yeah, I am. And am I a hypocrite? Well, no, because that brings me to the immigration that works. Something I like to call love immigration. And how this is different than other kinds of immigration. Well, the most important thing is that it allows me to pretend I'm not a hypocrite. But putting that most important reason aside, it works like this. The places I've gone to, many of the countries, the women are not fully happy with the men there. I've written about it extensively in my book, Golden Nuggets of International Dating. And like, there's always this theme that, you know, the men cheat on the women, and the local men cheat on the women, or they're lazy, or, you know, whatever the complaint is. And so I've made videos about my complaints with certain American women. Not all, but certain. And the point is I'm a free market guy. Competition makes things better. If the locals felt threatened a little bit that there might be less local women available because they cheat too much, you know, maybe introducing gringos like me, or whatever, you know, people like Americans to Ukraine, or whatever. I mean, American men might make the local men step up their game. Conversely, American women, if they thought more American men were willing to look outside of America, maybe if they had less choices, they might step up their game and be a little bit more open to a guy that they wouldn't have been open to in the past. So the logic is sound. Feel free to use that. And until next time, that is goldennuggetsmedia.com.